but it's a false love. So what's happened to us is that we've been corrupted by people. Okay? And so we hide. See? We hide in our imagination, let's put it that way. After all the corruption, and all the hate, and all the anger, and all the upset, and all the confusion. And we hate ourselves too. People hate themselves, which they shouldn't, but they do. They turn it on themselves. So then we hide in the imagination. And see, the link to the world. See, all of those corruptions. See, all of the corruption. And the reaching to the world. And the being rejected and hurt and traumatized and tricked and fooled and being given false love, false comfort, and consolation, and all of that causes all of these attachments to the world and entanglements and memories. And so all of these memories of which our mind is now composed, well, we hide in them. We hide from what? From the truth about what's happened to us. See, we've been degraded. So who was it? Was it Rousseau who said that man is born free, but everywhere he is in chains? Well, we were born innocent. We were born innocent. But then through corruption, the corruption gets in. The world gets in. See, we were meant to be close to our Creator, and then to receive His love, His approval, to receive from Him what's good for us, and reassurance from Him, and love from Him, and motivation from Him to see, and insights and discoveries and all wonderful things from Him. See, and to grow, and then expressing the good, the truth, the principles that you discover from Him, and a way of living, a way of not hating others and not resent. See, the secret is to be patient with others, to not resent them, to not hate them. See, to just be patient, to not judge them. See, can you see how you can do that if you're slightly detached from the world, because you're closer to God? So there's an attachment. See, that's the thing. See, Buddhism and so on, the idea of detachment, it's a good idea. And I'm sure Buddha, I think he probably knew a lot more. He probably knew a lot, realized a lot. But then after he was gone, then other people, they did the best they could with what he had left for them. But a lot of times they didn't really understand, so they imitated. See, so detachment is good. So the idea of detachment is good, to be a little detached. But there has to be an attachment. And that's what the mystics, St. John of the Cross and St. Francis de Sales, Madame Guyon, Teresa of Avila, people like that, Brother Lawrence, and that's what they understood, see, because they loved God, just the way David. It's a good way of understanding, because you understand that David loved God. You can see it. You read any of the Psalms, so you can understand that he loved God. See, well, they loved God too. And so their little bit of detachment from the world, see, standing back, recollecting, was because they were attaching to God. They were moving closer to God, you see. But what's happened to everyone else, it happened to them too, but they somehow... See, the wonderful thing about the light from God, it's that God's light is like the sunlight, contains all the different colors. It has light and also has warmth. And using the sunlight, the plant is able to synthesize food, leaves, beautiful flowers, and fruit. See, it's just marvelous. Well, the soul in God's light, See? But the other thing about the sunlight is if you get a dirty towel, let's say you go to the gym to work out, and then all of a sudden you got a couple of dirty towels in your locker. So you take those towels, those damp towels, and you hang them out in the sun. A couple hours later, you go and get them, and they're fresh and clean because of the sun. Well, God's light is spiritual light. It's like the sunlight. The sun is a good analogy for God's spiritual light. God's spiritual light. See, God's light, because it contains love and understanding, is able to heal all the bad things from the past, all the memories, the traumas, see, the hurts, confusions. He's able, he can heal it all. There's nothing that you have to do. Nothing. And you can't do anything. Christ said, of myself I can do nothing. Nothing to do but just to spend a little time recollecting yourself, to put yourself. See, it's not even like you're putting yourself, but you're standing back from the things that pull you into them. And the main thing, which I began this little lecture here by saying, the main thing that pulls us in, the corruption came from people. But now the thing that pulls you in is your imagination and thoughts, which I can, I've written about and made lectures on and so on. And I don't have time now to go into the depth of it, but I'll just say that not only do you have all the memories of past traumas that you are keep revisiting and keep coming back, and see, they have to be dealt with by God's light, but there's also the spirit of the world. See, the spirit that created these traumas, the hateful spirit, see, the confusing spirit, the vile spirit, the spirit of, and it's the spirit of knowledge, the spirit of, yes, of raw knowledge and of pride. See, it enters. That's right, it enters somehow, some mysterious way. It enters, and then it talks to you from within, and you think it's you. You think it's your own conscience. See, but it always misleads you. So we're not going to go into that now. I'm not going to go into that now. But I'm just going to say that what you need is mental distance. You have to be able to stand back from the maelstrom, the bedlam of the squirrel cage of your thinking. Okay? Stand back from it with a little bit of mental distance. And then you'll be closer to God. And then it's all good. It said, St. Augustine said, love God and then do what you will. See? Love covers a multitude of sins, doesn't it? If you have love. See? How are you going to get love? Right now all you have is hate, resentment, anger, bitterness, jealousy, judgment. Well, you will have love when the closer you get to God, the more you realize that He loves you, and He's forgiven you, and He doesn't judge you. He sees you wrong, but He doesn't judge you. He sees your error, but He doesn't judge you. When you see that, then you also will then be able to be patient with others.